So these things that a man, his name is supposed to represent that law. What does this man live by? What is a foundation in him or a principle in which he builds his house on, or that is built on him? So that man actually is the rock and the foundation of his household or his family or anything that sits on his responsibility. So
don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
You know, I know that they have their place and they're important, but as long as I can keep this universe right here at peace, I must give it my best shot. So I'm saying that this is what you'll probably need to do also. I sent out an e-message today, which is from the e-messenger. I consider myself the e-messenger, Ezell, okay, messenger of God. And, you know, I try to deliver the truth as the truth is given to me, because the truth has set me free and the truth continues to set me free. And sometimes we just have to face, you know, certain things. So I put up a e-message today that said something like, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Do you know what that means? Stop and think. Sometimes in life, we can spend a whole lot of time teaching or doing whatever God has called you to do, or you feel like you have been called to do. If God has given you a message, if it truly came from God, it doesn't change. It does not change, because God is truth. God is. Okay? And so if we're looking to understand maybe what God is saying to us, that may change, because maybe you didn't get the message right. But usually when we are in one accord with Scripture, and there's a scripture that says God does not change. He said, I change not. Okay? And some of us seem to think that that he does change. Okay? I think God has mercy on us, you know, when we fail to hit the mark. But basically his truths and his words are his words, if they're his words, you know. And that's the reason why I have to go back through the scriptures. I have to start all over and go back through all of those things that I was taught. And I received those things as true. But that does not mean that they are true, because they were taught to me. As you go through life and age, you begin to gain wisdom. And that wisdom that I am receiving, one moment, that I continue to get as I get older. I'm 67 years old. Okay, so I have to stop and look back at the life that I've lived and the experiences that I've gone through that have affected me in my life. I have to find the answer. Okay, I think that God gives us all gifts, and he also gives us a problem or problems, so that we can go through them and we can learn from them. And when we learn from them, then we teach. We teach what we've learned. We go to school, we learn things. Then we pass those things on to the next generation by what? By teaching. And the scriptures talks about order, even in your home. You know, we as men, I've often taught, I have this shirt that says law and love. And it's a scale that has a balance on it. One side is law and one side is love. This is usually the way I teach, something that God gave to me a long time ago, just understanding the relationship between man and woman. And in a household, you know, the woman representing love and the man representing law. And we know that laws are supposed to be things in our lives that gives us stability, gives us a foundation we build a house on a foundation. Okay, and so men are supposed to set the tone or the legalities of that house, the principles in which that house or that family lives by. There are some things that my dad just taught me that have been solid rocks for me. And you know, the scripture talks about people who build their houses on sinking sand, things that shift and things that move. But he said, when you build your home on the rock, it is a foundation. So these things that a man, his name is supposed to represent that law. What does this man live by? What is a foundation in him or a principle in which he builds his house on, or that is built on him? So that man actually is the rock and the foundation of his household or his family or anything that sits on his responsibility. So
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.